Shaking people, back with another reaction, back with some more Assemblage 23. And big shout out and apologies to Kim, hero of the channel, who has provided the Assemblage 23 material, but it's been far too long since I've been back to this playlist, so mea culpa, but we're back on it now. And the next tune is Skyquake, a track I love the title of. Quakes, as we've come to use that term, certainly in English and deriving from and into other languages, relates to earth, like the ground upon which we stand and our buildings are constructed. So taking an earthquake and that concept and putting it into the sky, it's already an interesting dynamic and atypical expression of the quakes that we know. So I wonder in what context this term will play in. I imagine on some level there will be some metaphors, some figurative understandings, perhaps still with a visual of a rippling wave through space, perhaps that as well, but also the sky here on Earth. So yeah, ultimately I've been not only intrigued by his lyrics, but his vocal delivery is often murky, and it's intense and almost like industrialized. So I am curious to hear what it will sound like in this track. Let's find out. This is Assemblage 23. The track is Skyquake, and it's from the 1999 album Contempt. I think the Starship Acid should listen to this while exploring the galaxy. Guttural, haunting. Sky. A bit sigh, like Goa flavor that. But it's down tempo, like
twisting, turning, freezing, burning, tearing, fusing, losing, thoughts for rejection, open reception, dreaming and waking, the process is taking
I mean, for real, like, where have you been all my life? And where have you been the last 2 months? It's on me. It's on me. Hard work. the melody of that. I do like that euphoric elevating layer. And that sigh-ish melody. Love it, amazing. And you know, I mentioned, or I joke that it's a track I'd like to use in my Star Control 2 playthrough. You know, I mentioned, for those of you here, and I know Kim is someone who has checked out those videos, so I feel like this is relevant. I mentioned that I'm playing that game with the original soundtrack, but as I mentioned in the first video, there's a remix suite that was done by a number of Scandinavian techno and electronic music producers in the mid-aughties. I want to say it's like 05, 06, something like that. And in the open source version of the game I'm playing, you can toggle the music settings to play all the remix tracks. And some of the remix tracks have this kind of feel where it's like, it's a bit electronic dance, but it's also a bit industrial sounds and parts, and you know, it feels like this tune could actually slot into the remix suite of that game very easily. So, and again, this is 99, so a few years before the tracks I'm thinking of. But yeah, ultimately, independent of that, I love the driving electric dynamic synth bass mixed in part with that psychedelic Goa style melody, which was actually two-part. There was like a lower, like fuller melodic line, and then a higher sort of electrical points of light type of line. But again, both of them with a bit of again, like Goa dissonance, you know, that psychedelic twist. So I enjoyed that. Again, we have vocals with different effects on them, but we're talking freezing and burning and walking across fields of fire and things which seem very severe, weather and environment at its most extreme. I did hear lines about sky. I don't know if I heard Skyquake specifically, and maybe I just heard the sky part and not the quake, but ultimately it does sound like we're talking about environmental intensity, and perhaps, you know, going through, again, because fields of fire, like fields you think of as things that grow, whereas fire, it chemically changes, it burns things that have grown. So going through a field of fire, it has a, you know, poetic but also, you know, stark and intense quality. So all of these things I think could be good metaphors for intense emotional or interpersonal experiences, but I didn't catch enough to know if that's sort of the level of play on words that we're talking about. You should see her eyes. She'll look at me from upside down, and then her eyes go to the like other side of the eye. Her pupils, I should say, go to the other side of the eye. It's hilarious. Regardless of that, another fantastic tune. Like I said, I really need to not only stay on track when it comes to reacting to this artist, but it's crazy. Again, listening to like hard trance and goa trance and dissonant techno and playing records of those kinds in the late 90s and early 2000s. I would have loved this. Again, it's not quite the same as, the rave genres that I was buying and listening to, but there's a lot going on that I would have loved, because again, it sounds like some of the more wicked and dark synth music that I was already a fan of as a kid and even leading into the 90s, but mixed with that, techno, hard kick drum, dance floor flavors. So bottom line, so much to like, and I'm looking forward to the remainder of the album. Once again, shout out to Kim, both for sharing this and for your patience with this and other deep dives. I really do appreciate that. So from Luca and I, let me know what you think. I will see you next time. Peace.